Here is the face of freedom. The face of freedom, everyone. Hope you're well. You are now listening to the nightboT channel, sponsored by nightboT. nightboT nightsticks, ready for sale any day now. No, seriously, on a real serious note, yeah, no joking around, right? Let's be serious now, okay? Right? I've got to give a big shout out to Piers Corbyn's cold sore for all the work and dedication. You know, it's always there. That cold sore is an example to us all. Alright? So I want you to raise a glass to Piers Corbyn's cold sore. Alright? But anyway, like I said, face of freedom. The face of freedom. Our leader. Our energetic. You can tell he's going to be around for a long time, can't you? He's effervescent and very youthful. Right? I'm surprised he was even able to get his hand up that high. I bet he's like thinking like, you better hurry up and take the photo. I can't hold my hand up this long. Stop lockdown, save lives. Stop lockdown, save lives. The worst chance in the world. Imagine, like I've said this before, but imagine him in a football stadium, yeah, before all this rubbish. He'd be like the person who would start a chant and no one else would carry on with it, you know? But yeah, Piers Corbyn's cold sore. Big respect. So yeah, on a serious note, let's get down to it. We are on the 15th of December. It's a Tuesday, believe it or not. We did a 7-hour live stream last night. Very interesting. It's funny how 7 hours can just go like that. In John Overkill's channel, with the best community of critical thinkers who are not stuck up in race, religion, colour, money. They're just about the goodness of someone's intentions. Simple as that. You're either evil or you're good. You know what I mean? Some people are good and make mistakes, but it doesn't make them evil. But someone who does things intentionally that are going to harm others, that's evil. Simple, innit? So let's start with this. CV19, London and other parts of South East to move into Tier 3 on Wednesday. So this was from yesterday, okay? In case anyone missed it, because you never know. You never know. So London and parts of Essex and Hertfordshire will move into the highest level of CV restrictions on Wednesday. And what it will mean is thousands of bars, pubs, cafes, restaurants closing the capital and surrounding areas after Tuesday night, except for takeaway services, click and collect services. So yeah, Tier 3, yeah. And again, you know, I don't know who saw this or not, so better to be safe. So new variant of corona identified in UK, the health secretary says. So Matt Hang by his cock has said a new variant of CV has been identified in the UK and it's believed to be causing the faster spread in the southeast. So now in their story, they're saying that there's a variant of it. So like we were discussing on this show, what it means now is that the VACCINE might be not enough for these variants, or you might need to have another one. So on top of the two that they've suggested that you might have to have another one. So life could just be basically a ritual of having these things because they say that there's a new variant, or like we saw on the Songbird film trailer, CV 23 or whatever it was, yeah. They have the license to just bring out a new variant, a new name for it, whatever it might be. And I made a video quite a few months ago about a child's program where they were talking about how to stop the virus. So they didn't even say CV, they just said the virus, because that way it teaches a child to be fearful and just think that there's a virus potentially all the time. Yeah, so they didn't even need to mention that it was CV. It's better for them to say that it was a virus, and that way you program the generations of the future to be expectant of a virus all the time. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, on one hand they're saying what they're doing, and then on the other hand they say this. So a Conservative MP, and I'm neither Conservative or Labour or any of them. I'm not labelled. I'm just a humanist. I'm here for the my family, your family. You know, we work together. So I'm not labelled as right wing or left wing or anything. Okay, but Conservative MP Nikki Allen says that Tier 3 restrictions in London will have devastating economic consequences. Yeah, of course it will, but that she accepts that they are needed to slow the spread. Okay, so devastating economic consequences. So not only just in the present, but for the future, devastation of the future as well. Yeah, but that's acceptable to stop the so-called spread. And remember, people, when you're listening to me, I haven't got it, you haven't got it, your family members haven't got it, blah, 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 blah. So they're saying that they're going to devastate the economy. Why? To slow the spread. Slow the spread of what? The thing that we don't have and no one knows anyone who has it. That thing. And on that note, nightboT said that he knew someone who had it, and I questioned him on it, and he had nothing to offer. So that's a bit dodgy to me. When you say something like that and you can't back it up, or you don't want to back it up, then it makes your initial point very sort of shallow and untrustworthy. This politician says, I'm bitterly disappointed in what we're having to go through in London at the moment. I've been fighting hard against having Tier 3 imposed on us. But you know what? Shucks. Having seen the data, I now accept that it's necessary to protect our NHS and our health. But then, however, there is no doubt that Tier 3 restrictions will have devastating effects, basically. Yeah, telling you what they're doing, telling you what's going to happen in the future. Don't say you weren't warned. They're warning you. It's part of their karmic law that they have to tell you what they're doing, and then if you submit to it through your own ignorance and stupidity, then so be it. That's what their thought process is. Yeah. So this happened yesterday. Google services such as, you know, I experienced it on Hangouts and YouTube. It went down. Now the timing of it was quite suspicious because it happened when there was that sort of, they were debating what would happen to people who didn't accept the VACCINE. So my personal opinion is that what they were doing is they were trying to see if they could do it, what the effects would be, how people would manage without it, how easy they could stop people talking about it, etc, etc. That's what I think it was, a little sort of test for the future when they've got massive news that they want to bring out, but they don't want social media to sort of discuss it and be open-minded about it. They would probably just crash what, you know, like they did yesterday. That's my brainstorming. Yeah. So it says here, CV-19, vaccinating the entire UK population could take a year, scientists warn. And then in the little headline there, it says around 20% of the UK population may decline it. So 20% of the UK is not enough, but it's still enough to sort of show that there's plenty of us around. Someone knows better than me the population of the United Kingdom and what 20% of that is. Someone can do that while I carry on with this, and put it in the chat if you could. That would be excelente. Right. Nah, not them. CV-19, weekly testing to be made available for secondary schools and colleges. I hate hate seeing these pictures of young children wearing these things. It makes me feel sick, uneasy, uncomfortable, sad, depressed. But look at it as inspiration. You don't want this to happen, so therefore we have to try to do our best to affect its cause and stop it happening. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, so basically weekly testing to be made available for secondary schools and colleges. So they're just going to get it into their routine of being tested for viruses all the time. I mean, how sick and how scary and how depressing is that? But, you know, again, use it as inspiration and work against it. So it says here, following a review of Scotland's, and I know we've got some Scottish people on the channel, so, you know, this is of concern to you. Following a review of Scotland's tier system, 3 areas will move up a level due to the rising CV cases. So East Lothian, Aberdeen City and Aberdeenshire will move from level 2 to level 3 after cases increased in those areas. But again, like we say over and over and over, cases don't mean nothing. They don't mean anything. Yeah. They said before all this really started, they said that most people, you know, if it is such a thing, a CV, most people have it, don't even know they have it, get over it. So again, how can something so harmless be affecting the world in that it needs to be locked down? Just ask yourself that. And if it was a deadly virus around, they wouldn't allow us to be exempt. They would say there's no excuses, you have to wear it. If you don't wear it, you're not coming out, because you can infect people. But they knew that they would get sued, so therefore they allowed you to be exempt. See, that's a very powerful thing. They don't want to get sued, so they allowed you to be exempt. If you didn't even listen to them, then that's on you. That's on you. Again, they give you the information. Whether you choose to act on it or not is up to you. Again, a Scottish article. Drug deaths in Scotland hit worst level on record. Number of drug deaths in Scotland has reached the worst level on record, and it says here, drug charities and support groups have criticised the long-term reduction in sufficient funding to tackle the problem. They point out that the drugs problem has been made worse by the social and economic impact of the CV-19 pandemic. Yeah, so again, we spoke about this months ago, you know, with so-called lockdowns, the consumption of alcohol and drugs will go up, and therefore possibly mental illness might go up and suicides might go up as well, unfortunately. Okay. My ethos, my mantra is that I don't believe in hard drugs, Class A drugs. And I know that if they wanted to get rid of them, they could get rid of it. But the fact is that the government and other agencies make money off it. So it's in their interest to make sure that this black market is still around. Okay. They're fine for cigarettes and alcohol to be sold legally, but a plant that doesn't kill anyone, has never killed anyone in centuries, is a criminal offence. So that tells you everything about the system of this country and what they think is important, what they don't think is important. Your health is not important, so then therefore don't believe them when it comes to all this. This is crazy. Flame-throwing drone used to torch wasp nests in China. You know, some people will think, oh, well, you know, that's cool. That's cool. They're using that drone to do something that we couldn't do as human beings. But what you've got to do is you've got to think of it in a different way. And what I think is that they're basically showing you that they're weaponizing drones, and they're trying to do it in a way so you feel like it's, you know, a good thing. But in fact, you know, these things could be used against you in the future. So that's all I would say, you know. That's all I would say. Flamethrowing drone used to torch wasp nest in China. So equipping a drone with a flamethrower, basically. And we've seen, I've put articles about drones having shotguns on them so that they can go into a room and clear out people, basically. Yeah. And who knows, in the future that could be people who've opposed the New World Order. They send these drones in. I hope not. I hope not. you know, I don't want any of this to be real. I want to wake up tomorrow and have a normal day for my family and for your families. But unfortunately, unless we do something, it seems like that day is not coming, okay? And I want you to realise the effect that this community and this channel is having on the political landscape of England, okay? They're talking about this channel. They're trying to discredit this channel. Why? Because we're talking the truth. And they don't like it because they've been organised to try and keep the truth from us. And now they're actively trying to deny us the truth and stop us gaining critical mass. Rules for UK Christmas under review as cases surge. So this is from The Guardian, and they're just saying that, you know, they're thinking about what to do over Christmas. Limiting gathering to 2 households among options being discussed after stark warnings about risk to the NHS. Not going to go too much into this, but you can see the headline there. Okay. Study of England, Scotland and Wales dispels the myth of Asian grooming gangs popularised by the far right. Okay, so read what you want into that. All I would add to that is that we discussed it yesterday, but I believe there is systematic rings and networks involved in this high up. So again, it's something that they profit off, just like the black market of Class A drugs. Again, we spoke about this yesterday on the show. It just seems like these bloody two, you hear about them on the news every sodding day, whether it be, oh, they've got to deal with Netflix, or they've got to deal with... I don't care. I don't watch anything that you say because you promote wearing the face covering, yeah? So I don't watch what you say because I think that you're bad royal models. I meant to say role models. So they, you know, as it says here, they're building a brand, you know, and at the moment where humanity is on its knees, what's important is that these two have a brand to build, yeah? And they got 100 million Netflix contract months ago. Can you imagine the money that is going into their bank accounts? Absolutely depressing, my friend. So, like we were talking about the drug thing, yeah. So this poor guy, if it's true, this poor guy hung himself during lockdown after doctors missed signs that his mental health was deteriorating because he could only speak to them on the phone. So, if that's true, then that's very sad, and we need to do something about it. We need to support people, yeah. Right, let's come back to that one because that's quite funny. Yeah, so this is Based Welshman. I actually spoken to this guy on YouTube before. We had a conversation. But yeah, he was involved in another one of these arrests where they just let him talk to YouTube. He's allowed to talk about how tight the handcuffs are, while the police just stand there allowing him to talk. Then don't seem to be any rush to put him in custody. You know, what they've been told to do is let this guy who's one of us have his monologue, let enough people film it, and then pretend that you're taking him away into custody. Yeah, I could be wrong. It's just speculation. You know me. You should recognise this guy by now. That guy is a Chelsea guy. Yeah. But what you'll notice is probably since we started calling him the Chelsea guy because he was always wearing Chelsea clothes, he's not wearing it. But he's very obvious to see. He's always wearing the beanie hat, and yeah, he's a mate of Grey Bleeders. Put it that way. And there's the face of freedom. The face of freedom. Power. Piers Corbyn is the power. And here we go. Here's John Overkill. I mean, sorry. It's Gazer Frackman. I'm sorry. I thought it was John Overkill because remember Spectrum said that this guy, even though he knew exactly who it was, calls him John Overkill. Why? I don't know. But it's good promotion. And if people come to my channel and they see our community and realise that we're the best community on YouTube, so be it. Okay? But yeah, look who's there with John Overkill. I mean, Gazer. Yeah, that's right. Everyone's favourite, Mr. Tatman. Tatman. He's just a perfect example of what you want to represent the truth movement. You know, I'm sure loads of people who are on the fence look at him and they think, do you know what? I want to join him on the quest for everlasting truth. I'm sure they do that. Oh, wait. No, they probably don't. But yeah, there's no one else in London that's able to hold a banner apart from Tatman. So yeah, it's a shame, you know. It's a shame. Thousands and thousands of people in London, but they can only get one small tattooed man who shouts and screams at the police. He's the only one that they can get to carry a banner, unfortunately. And here's Speaker's Corner. Let me just flip. Here's some Speaker's Corner action for you. And as you can see, it's everybody's favourite bodyguards. The bodyguard. They're very obvious to tell because they're bloody 6 foot. Yeah, they look like what they're supposed to be. And they're always there. Together. You know. Dynamic duo. Yeah. Always seem to be near Hatun and Pavlova, these two. And as you can see, there they are again. Yeah. This guy here with the dark hair. And then this guy here with the white jacket and the grey beard. Yeah. Always there together. With Pavlova and Hatun. And here's Pavlova filming, yeah. What he does is he seems to be filming a lot. He's always filming. But then when you look at his channel, he doesn't upload any of it. So what he seems to do is go there to film, to then delete it, or keep it for his personal, like, whatever he does in private with these videos. But yeah, he just films people, doesn't bother to upload it anywhere. So you got to ask yourself, what the hell are you doing, my friend? Are you the guy from OVERKILL channel? And again, here we go. You know what I mean? The same two there on the left-hand side. And this is Modine in the middle, you know. Modine, who's supposedly a Shia Muslim. But what always seems to be the case is they put him here in the middle. They tell him to act like an imbecile. Tell him to wear stupid clothes to discredit the religion that he supposedly represents. But like I said, I don't believe he is a practicing Muslim. I think he's used to film these events. And you've got on the left and the right, you've got two alleged Christians who are there battling him, debating him. And it's 2 against 1. And like I said to you already, I don't believe that he's a Muslim anyway. So it's all a setup in my opinion. And it's just there to make people think, oh my God, look at this guy. He represents Islam. He's a total knobhead. But like I said, I don't believe that he does. All right? I don't. And all you've got to do is just look at the pictures. You look at Pavlova with a stupid smirk. You look at Modine, like sort of being aggressive and confrontational to a woman. But like I said, it's all set up. It's all here for the media and for YouTube. And it's just drama, staged drama. Yeah, that's all I think it is, man. And talking about stage drama, Pavlova decided to make himself another prop, another costume. He's got so much time on his hands that he's managed to make himself a fake policeman hat, like you do, you know. We've all been there, making ourselves a fake policeman hat so that we can wear to Speaker's Corner. We've all done that. We've all been there. But again, who's behind him? That's right. The bodyguard. Kevin Costner is the bodyguard. You know what I'm saying? That really is a top-notch hat. I was fooled. I really did think you were a police, Pavlova. I really did. Maybe you are. Excusez-moi. And here is Resistance ET, aka Longfinger, ET Finger. aka cry like a girl when you supposedly get arrested. That's his supposed assistant and girlfriend. But whenever I see her and I see her interact with him, she looks like she would rather throw herself off a cliff than spend seconds with this guy. I remember seeing them recorded in the car on the way to Manchester, and Spectrum Rectum says, "Can you tell me what the quality's like on the stream?" And she went like this, "Yeah." Like so enthusiastic, and as you can see here, she just looks like she detests this guy. It's like they pay her to be his so-called assistant and girlfriend, but like I said, she really doesn't look happy to be there. Maybe she was waiting for something for a reward or whatever. Yeah. And then this girl here with the green hair, right? This was the one who was supposedly arrested in London. Again, who was there? Resistance ET. He was there just filming it, you know, as you do. He just seems to be finding people that get arrested and he just films it, you know. He's like Batman, but filming people get arrested instead of actually solving crime. But yeah, so this girl is here yet again. And her so-called arrest looked so dodgy. And you had the guy with the skateboard who no one seems to know who he is, but he's always there filming and he's got a sodding skateboard. He's like, "Oh, come on, guys, she's a kid, just let her go." Like the most shit acting ever, yeah? Jesus. And this is Kay, right? So people on my channel should recognize her because this was a lady who was connected to G, and she actually interrupted my live stream when David Icke was speaking, and I actually had to mute her because she was talking for about 20 minutes about Madeleine McCann. Now this is exactly what was happening on this screenshot that you see here with Subject Access. Thanks for the filming, Subject Access. But yeah, so she was talking about Madeleine McCann, and then as you can see in this comment here, she hijacked a live at a protest a few weeks ago, talking for about 2 hours about the McCanns. So it's very strange. And if you remember, Gazer was on video a few weeks ago calling this woman out, saying that forget her age. We didn't know what she was doing, but basically she's some kind of provocateur or distractor or agitator, or whatever you want to call it. But it seems like what she does is she just rambles on about Madeleine McCann to stop whatever conversation is happening or whatever, you know, the topic is. So that's very interesting. And then you had this here where you've got the lady who came on my show the other day, and she's opposite Tatman, as you can see there, with the blue puffer jacket. And then with the sky blue puffer jacket is Mr. Cricket Man, the one who wanted to take glory from Rich when Rich did his speech in Birmingham. That's right, Cricket Man. So yeah, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, these people are just here constantly. Okay? And that's the guy there. You see this guy with the woolly hat, yeah? When G had his altercation with Pavlov, this guy said just before, he said to Pavlov, so who's Overkill? Is he the antinatalist? Now, I had no idea why he would say that, but it's just another weird thing that this guy does, and no one seems to know who he is, even though he's very visible. He goes around with a skateboard and he's got a bloody banner on him that says "The media is the virus." As you can see there, all the police cars lining up, police vans lining up there because it's such a violent event. And here we have Mr. David Curtains, another greybeard, cult of the greybeard. Yeah, being pushed very heavily to be the next mayor. You got to ask yourself why. Yeah. And bearing in mind that this guy stands there with Tatman, bearing in mind this guy stands there while Resistance ET gets his arse arrested, but has 10-minute political monologue before he's actually put into a van, because that's normal, isn't it? And who's to the left of him? That's right, Jeff Wyatt. This is now tyranny. Yeah. And who's that to the left of him? That's right, Pavlova. The one who always wants to be in the bloody shot. Look at him. Look at him, man. It's sad. Just go home, read a book, find a girlfriend, get a family. Just do something, man. Do something instead of just being an attention whore all the time. Oh, and look who's behind him now. That's right. It's Grey Blue. The one who's... I'm from Clacton, bruv. I'm from Clacton. It's a radio. I know what's going on. What a dick. Look at all the police. Yeah, lots of them there. And this was quite, you know, strange. Walking past and seeing all that all over the floor. I don't know what to make of it, but yeah. It does look a bit strange, that, doesn't it? Yeah, man. So there you go. So what we had is we had more staged fake protests going on, led by fake people. What we need to do is we need to have our own protest, which is nothing to do with these organisations, where we don't shout and scream, where we don't say the same chant over and over, where we actually stand there peacefully and have a calm exchange, discourse with people, and try to get them to understand why we're there and why we're against the lockdown. It's not going to happen by shouting at people, telling them to take their mask off. It's not going to happen by screaming and shouting all these stupid chants that they're doing. If anything, it's going to put people off. All right? So let's leave it on a sort of comical note, okay, which is also a positive note, because what it shows you is how pathetic this whole thing is, and we need to stand up and do something about it, because it's just joke now. It's just a joke, all right? So here you go. Coca-Cola tests CV-19 positive in Austrian parliament. Okay, an Austrian parliamentary member exposed the defectiveness of the government CV-19 tests by demonstrating in the parliament how a glass of Coca-Cola tested positive for CV-19. So now even Coca-Cola's got it, my brother. Hopefully they didn't get Pepsi as well. Hopefully Pepsi's corona-free. So he said, Mr. President, we are likely to have a problem now. We have a positive corona test in Parliament. Namely, this Coca-Cola triggered a positive corona test. I don't know how to deal with it now. With things like this, you are throwing tens of millions of euros in tax money out of the window, instead of providing real protection for old peoples and nursing homes, instead of investing money in our hospitals. The corona mass tests are worthless. Okay? So, like that story about the Tanzania president who deliberately got papaya tested and it came back as having CV. He did that on purpose just to prove that the testing was a load of bollocks. And then this proves it with the Coca-Cola. Okay, so if the testing itself is bollocks, then the whole premise of the thing is bollocks, and we need to do something about it. Okay, so these kind of stories should give you the strength to do something about it, okay? Because you can just provide examples of how stupid it is, and hopefully people will wake up, okay? So this has been nightboT. This has been John Overkill, all right? So I hope you enjoyed the show last night, the 7-hour stream. I hope you enjoyed the daily review. I have a PayPal link if you want to donate and support the channel. What you've got to remember is this channel is very unique, and the community is very unique. We're not allied with any sort of massive YouTube channels or corporations or sponsors. It's all grassroots, normal people like you and me, okay? So like I said, I'll put a PayPal donation link in there if anyone wants to help out. That would be brilliant. But I do hope that you are enjoying the reviews and the streams. We try to make as much humour out of it as possible, because look, our brains are fragile things and we need to look after them, and we can't be going through stress day after day. So anyone who's got any issues with stress, anxiety, depression, pop a little comment on one of the videos on my channel, and either I will get back to you or someone else will. We're all a community who tries to help each other, okay? It's very important that we do that, because the powers that be do not want us to help one another out. They want us isolated from one another, okay? That is the game. That is the end goal, all right? So, my brothers and sisters, once again, it's been a pleasure spending time with you. I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves and your family. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. No new normal. Unite the people to fight the evil. This has been John Overkill, and we are over and out. Take care.